Hey guys, what's up? Back in another video. Today we are going to do a review of this bad boy right here with the Royal Rumble 2012. Just got finished watching it like minutes ago, so let's get this on the way as it's fresh in my memory. So yeah, pretty cool stuff right here. Let's kick this off, shall we? Kick off with the steel cage match for the World Heavyweight Championship as Daniel Bryan defending the World Championship in a triple threat steel cage match against both Mark Henry and The Big Show. Very interesting visual here of Mark Henry and The Big Show, these two big giant guys, and poor little Daniel Bryan being stuck in a cage with them. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. It was pretty cool stuff. It looked like Mark Henry was injured, and it kind of brought the match down a little bit because he kind of took, he kept taking breaks like for a long time, and he wouldn't really do much. It'd be very slow paced when Mark Henry was doing it. I think he had like a knee injury or something. So he wasn't really involved in the match too much. It was mostly dominated by Big Show and Daniel Bryan, which I think should have been a singles match, to be quite honest. I understand why they had Mark Henry in there because he was involved in the Daniel Bryan Big Show stuff at TLC in December, but I feel like he just brought the match down with the fact that he couldn't do much. He was very limited. And the fact that he was a steel cage anyway, that limits what they could do in the match anyway. So Daniel Bryan was able to escape. He used his brain to escape the Giant, and he was too quick for the Giant. As Big Show did catch him, but Daniel Bryan was able to get away. So Daniel Bryan retains. Good stuff, but it could have been better if Mark Henry was healthier. Anyway, next matchup we have a eight-woman tag team match. We had the Divas champion at the time, Beth Phoenix, teaming up with Natalya and the Balor twins to take on Kali, Eve Torres, Tamina, and Alicia Fox. This felt like a throwaway match just to get the women on the card. I hate to sound like that, but it really did. It got a couple of minutes. Jerry Lawler was his usual lovely self on commentary, slobbering all over the Divas, talking about how good they were and how he's looking forward to, doing Googling later. I don't know what Jerry Lawler says. I try to ignore the commentary for most of it, especially during this time because we had heel Michael Cole. The match itself, it had its moments. He had a couple of minutes to shine. Beth Phoenix, but I think Beth Phoenix deserved better than this. She kind of dominated the match at the end. Kind of felt like she had enough of playing around, and she just delivered this hard tag to Nikki Bella and just grabbed Kali and hit the finisher and got the pin. So it was supposed to be setting up Tamina versus Beth Phoenix at the Elimination Chamber, which happened at the Chamber, but Tamina wasn't even involved in the finishing sequence. So it could have been saved for Raw, could have been taken off the card and given some more matches some more time, but it was what it was. Anyway, next matchup we had Kane versus John Cena. This is the masked version of Kane, the returning Kane after he, from his exile, what do you call it, and he wants to make John Cena embrace the hate. This is the John Cena embrace the hate storyline with Kane. I liked the storyline to begin with, for the most part, until the very end when I realized that it was just a filler feud to keep Cena away from the Royal Rumble and also give him a little bit of a filler feud before the Rock WrestleMania match. So the match itself, it was very slow, methodical, very Kane dominated, and it was very very so match that ended in a very crap double count out finish that just continued the feud going into the February show in the Elimination Chamber in the ambulance match. It wasn't really that much, nothing really much to say about it. It was very slow and methodical, as I said. And, Kane, it was a good beat down at the end where Kane beat up Zack Ryder, who was in the wheelchair, and, after a beat down on Raw, and, he tombstoned Zack Ryder and then chokeslammed Cena and left them laying. Nothing much to say about this one. Just felt like filler. Next matchup we had, what was this one? Oh, Drew McIntyre versus Brodus Clay. I almost forgot about this match. But this is why I'm glad I have notes, because sometimes some of these matches just fly under the radar and I wouldn't be able to remember the order of the matches off the top of my head, even though I've just watched it. Some matches are very forgettable. This is one of them, Drew McIntyre against Brodus Clay. feels like something that would happen on like, the C or D shows at that time. If WWE had a D show, like main events or superstars or whatever. Very filler. Drew McIntyre wanted to go on the pay-per-view because he wasn't going to be in the Royal Rumble, and he complained to Teddy Long. So Teddy Long put him in this match against the recently debuted Funkasaurus version of Brodus Clay. Brodus squashed him. This could have been on Raw or SmackDown at that time. And anyway, Brodus squashed him. Let's move on. Nothing too much to say about that. Next matchup, we had the WWE Championship match. We had CM Punk defending the WWE Championship against Dolph Ziggler with special guest referee John Laurinaitis as the special guest referee. So going into this match, when I saw the match on paper, I was like, man, CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler, that could be a fantastic match. I didn't really remember it too much, so I was like, man, this should be fun. If Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk sound amazing, that sounds like a good match on paper. The Laurinaitis factor, I was expecting to play a big part in this. Turns out he was getting a job evaluation by Triple H the next night on Raw, so he was kind of on his best behavior. He took himself out of the special guest referee role and became the special guest enforcer on the outside. For the most part, it was a great match between CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler. Definitely my match of the night. But I think it was slightly brought down by the John Laurinaitis involvement in the final sequence, where it didn't make Dolph Ziggler look good. This final sequence did, because Punk had him beat 3 times very easily as well. The referee got knocked down. Of course, there was a ref bump, and John Laurinaitis was being, trying to help the referee up, but he missed a bunch of pinfalls from CM Punk in submission attempts, and there was just a little bit of shenanigans, and it wasn't really needed. I think Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk could have just gone out there and had a great match, and CM Punk could have just won. I understand that doesn't sound like World Wrestling Entertainment. I get that, but I didn't find anything that John Laurinaitis did in this match very entertaining. And neither did I find it entertaining hearing Michael Cole on commentary basically kissing up to Laurinaitis, talking about how good of a job he's doing. I felt really bad for Punk and Ziggler on this one, because, it felt like they, especially Ziggler, he was kind of like the aftermath, he was like the afterthought in this thingy, in this feud. It was more to do with Punk and John Laurinaitis, of would Laurinaitis group CM Punk on his way out, possibly. Still a good match, but, let down slightly by the John Laurinaitis involvement. Anyway, next matchup, we have the 30-man Royal Rumble main event. We kicked off with Miz and Alex Riley, 2 protégés. I like that. That was alright. And then, of course, Truth came out. Him and Miz were also former teammates at the time. It was good. Miz had a good performance. He was in there for 40 minutes, over 40 minutes. He had a good showing. Him and Cody Rhodes had a good showing. This Royal Rumble is mostly remembered for the Royal Rumble that all 3 commentators of Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, and Booker T all entered the Royal Rumble, and it really brought the match down for my liking. I never ever want to see Michael Cole in that fucking orange singlet ever again. You know what I mean? It's like, this is supposed to be the biggest match of the year to get to WrestleMania, to main event WrestleMania, and fucking Michael Cole enters the Royal Rumble in his stupid orange singlet, and then there was some funny spots with Ricardo Rodriguez coming out, but, because Del Rio was injured, so Ricardo was Ricardo Rodriguez made his entrance, and he had a little bit of a face-off between Santino and the Cobra, the Cobra sock that he comes out with, and Mick Foley and Mr. Socko. That was pretty funny, but, that happened early in the Royal Rumble, and Mick didn't look very good here. I think this was his last match he ever has, which I'm pretty glad for, because he didn't look good. He looked very broken down and beaten up at this point. What else shall I say? Oh yeah, Karma made her in-ring return. Karma, better known as Awesome Kong from TNA. She came back from her pregnancy. Very unfortunate stuff. I don't want to get too much into that, but yeah, it was. She came back and she had like a funny stare off with Michael Cole, and basically Michael Cole ran away and got eliminated by Lawler and Booker T. there was some funny moments, ha-ha moments, but yeah, for the most part, it was a very average Rumble until it got to the final sequence, which was Randy Orton, St. Louis's own Randy Orton, Chris Jericho, The Big Show, and Sheamus. Chris Jericho and Sheamus were the final two. They had a good sequence, a good final 5-minute sequence. Where they were trying to eliminate each other, and they're very on the edge of the ring. Very near elimination spots. Great stuff on Jericho and Sheamus. Jericho is one of the best at him and Dolph Ziggler are probably two of the best near elimination people, where they go over the top rope and they're like dangling and their feet are like inches from the floor. Very good stuff right there. Of course, Sheamus would go on to win the Royal Rumble. I know that's been criticized in the past. I was fine with it. I understand why. I watched a little bit of the build-up on the Blu-ray exclusives, and it was all built around Jericho on the Go Home show, where he's basically saying like the end of the world as you know it the world as you know it will end on Sunday, and he was basically referring to the best in the world, CM Punk, starting that promo off. I think Jericho would have benefited more from the Royal Rumble victory, setting up his match with Punk at WrestleMania. But, it wasn't to be, and, this was over, a decade ago? So I'm not gonna criticize, I'm not gonna, scream and shout and, throw things at the wall, over that. I'll do that with other matches, don't worry about it. Nah, man, it's all good, I can understand people's frustrations with Jericho not winning at this time. He really could have elevated his stock going into WrestleMania, but Sheamus, I'm not that, I know a lot of people shitted on Sheamus at this point, and especially after what happened at WrestleMania with the Daniel Bryan 18-second thing. But yeah, I like Sheamus. He's done some really good stuff, especially in the last few years, with the Gunther stuff. But yeah, this one, good stuff right there. Very solid finale to what was a very average Royal Rumble match. And overall, I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10. There was a lot of filler on this pay-per-view. Brodus Clay against Drew McIntyre comes to mind, and the 8-woman tag match, that could have been scrapped from this event. And also, I felt like Kane and John Cena was more of an angle than an actual match itself. Which just a continuation to their feud, which would culminate at the Elimination Chamber in February. So, that's going to be it now, guys. 5 out of 10 for this pay-per-view. Sorry for being a bit of a downer, but it was just I kind of expected a little bit better, and I forgot that how average that Royal Rumble was. Anyway, that's going to be it now, guys. Tell me what you think in the comments. Leave me a like if you deserve it, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And I'm out.